Violence begets violence. Hatred begets hatred, and terrorism begets terrorism. A white ambassador said that, y'all, not a black militant, not a reverend who preaches about racism, an ambassador whose eyes are wide open and who's trying to get us to wake up and move away from this dangerous precipice upon which we are now poised. The ambassador said the people that we are wounded don't have the military capability we have, but they do have individuals who are willing to die and to take thousands with them, and we need to come to grips with that. Let me stop my faith footnote right there and ask you to think about that over the next few weeks if God grants us that many days. Turn back to your neighbor and say, footnote is over. Now, come on back to my question to the Lord. What should our response be right now in light of such an unthinkable act? I asked the Lord that question Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I was stuck in Newark, New Jersey. No flights were leaving LaGuardia, JFK, or Newark Airport. On the day that the FAA opened up the airports to bring into the cities of destination those flights that had been diverted because of the hijacking, a scare in New York closed all 3 regional airports, and I couldn't even get here for Mr. Radford's father's funeral. And I asked God, what should our response be? I saw pictures of the incredible. People jumping from 110th floor. People jumping from the roof because the stairwells and the elevators above 89th floor were gone, no more. Black people jumping to a certain death, people holding hands, jumping, people on fire, jumping. And I asked the Lord, what should our response be? I read what the people of faith felt in 551 BC. But this is a different time. This is a different enemy. This is a different world. This is a different terror. This is a different reality. What should our response be? And the Lord showed me 3 things. Let me share them with you quickly, and I'm going to leave you alone to think about the faith footnote. Number 1, the Lord showed me that this is a time for self-examination. As I sat 900 miles away from my family and my community of faith, 2 months after my own father's death, God showed me that this was a time for me to examine my relationship with God, my own relationship with God, my personal relationship with God. I submit to you that it's the same for you. Folk flocked to the church in New Jersey last week. You know, that foxhole religion syndrome kicked in. That emergency cord religion, you know that little red box that you see pull in case of emergency? It showed up full force. Folk who ain't thought about coming to church for years. We're in church last week. I heard that midweek prayer services all over this country, which are poorly attended 51 weeks a year, were jam-packed all over the nation. The week of the hijackings, the 52nd week, filled with folk. But the Lord said, this ain't the time for you to be examining other folks' relationship. This is a time of self-examination. The Lord said to me, how is our relationship doing, Jeremiah? How often do you talk to me personally? How often do you let me talk to you privately? How much time do you spend trying to get right with me, or do you spend all your time trying to get other folk right? This is a time for me to examine my own relationship with God. Is it real or is it fake? Is it forever or is it for show? Is it something that you do for the sake of the public, or is it something that you do for the sake of eternity? This is a time to examine my own, and a time for you to examine your own relationship with God. Self-examination.